Hi people. I saw a TikTok this morning, the Shawn Mendes hey people thing. I always thought it was hi people, but it's actually hey people. Anyway, hey people. I've been craving to do one of my old looks again. There was a few looks that I did that I still to this day absolutely adore. This one in particular, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recreate it. And I also got some questions from you on Instagram. This recreation of an old look kind of came at a perfect time. I posted pictures of a shoot that I did last night on Instagram, and they were not well received. It's a very editorial, polarizing look, I would say. My inspiration was like old ladies who just wear shitloads of makeup. They don't care that it doesn't look good, and they don't care that they're supposed to wear age appropriate makeup and more mature makeup, and they just wear their makeup since the same as they did when they were like 20. I love those women. I love when people just wear, I love when you see someone's makeup and you're like, they've been doing that for 50 years. I love it. But a lot of people just didn't get it, and that's completely fine. I think taken out of context of a shoot or a runway or an editorial in a magazine, just posted on social media can be a what the fuck is this? You can smell the a 5-year-old could do this comments. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. Maybe I've been doing glam too long. My biggest inspiration and love for makeup comes from runway, and makeup through a fashion lens is what inspires me the most. Weird, off-putting, ugly, striking makeup is what gets me going, and that's my roots. I've always loved it. I've always felt pressure to be glam. I've always felt pressure to be a little bit more glam and a little bit more marketable, bookable. Times are tough. Fashion doesn't pay the bills. Famously, for me anyway. I don't know, maybe that's why I naturally steer towards more glam, more palpable looks, but this is me, this is who I am, this is what I love. I always like something a little bit weird, something that tells a story, something that captures a feeling or the essence of a person. Anyway, long spiel, no big reason. Anyway, let's get into it. I've already blocked my brows. I'm really happy with this brow block. I took a chance on the Ismaya 5-point lift because it is a bit peach, which I thought would look nice, which I thought would work well for my brows, and I'm pretty happy with that brow block. And then I just used the Huda Beauty Sugar Cookie. So this is the look I'm gonna do. Let's get going. I think I should do my base first and then go from there. I have nothing on my skin. I'm gonna start with the Herbar Barrier Cream, which is nearly finished. The smell reminds me of E45. Don't know why, I just don't think that's relevant, but I think it's interesting. I love this moisturizer. It's so like gooey, buttery, but it's not heavy at all. It feels very lightweight, but it's such a nice base for makeup. But it's a good one to have in your kit. I never really figured that it's broken me out, and I think it's designed, I think it would be good for all skin types. And also looks so cute. You can stand it up like that, except mine's completely done. So I'm gonna use something new. This is the Espresso Ultra Light Skin Tint. Shake well before use. Got this in the post a few days ago, and I've been really excited to try it. Let's test the shade first. Looks good. I love a skin tint. I love everything and anything like sheer. I think I should try it with my fingers. Oh, it's very sheer indeed. I like that. That's way too much. Fuck's sake. Oh my god, the smell reminds me of something. I want to keep the skin very fresh and runway-y. I don't want it to be very full coverage or anything. Skin tint on. I think that's beautiful. I will assume that this is the lightest shade that they have. A Pele, I think it is. I wouldn't mind one shade lighter. I think that's just because my face is a bit more freckly now since we've had a bit of sun. It looks darker, but it's actually, but I want it to be pale. I never thought I would say that, but I do want it to be pale. Clean up the lips. I hate that. I'm feeling very red around my nose. I wonder, I'm gonna use some of the 5-point lift around my nose. Which isn't how you're supposed to use it, but it's the closest thing to me. My eyes look quite heavy and tired today, which I do want to keep especially for this look. I love the look of tired, sunken eyes anyway, but I think especially for a look like this, it's perfect. But I don't want redness around the nose. That's good. That looks really nice. God, this look is from the 7th of January 2021. I've decided I'm going to change the tones. I'm going to start with this. It's like a beige with a wee bit of pink in it. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush and work that into the inner corner. So I basically want to start building definition. So this is going to be my lightest color. I get this question every time I do a Q&A, so I'm going to start it with this. How do you pronounce your name? My name is pronounced Aoife. And it doesn't sound correct because it's not an English name, it's not in the English language, it's in the Irish language, so the pronunciation, the sound of the letters is not consistent with the sound of English letters. I'm Irish and my name is Irish. What age did you start doing makeup? I started doing makeup on myself when I was 13 or 14, probably properly. I really got into YouTube. I very naturally gravitated towards makeup. I remember going to Boots when I was 13 or 14, which would have been in my second year of secondary school. I remember going to Boots and getting the cheapest thing I could find, which this also works with the question, what is your earliest memory of makeup? I went to Boots and got a Collection 2000 tinted moisturizer, pink lip gloss in a squeezy tube, and a green sparkly eyeshadow. They've since recently rebranded into Collection, but it was definitely called Collection 2000 when I bought it. And I remember the tinted moisturizer I bought was so... Wait, I need a different palette. I'm gonna take a wee bit of this black. I've always been very pale, obviously, and so I just thought, oh, I have to get the lightest one, but it was really pale. And then I remember my mum offered to take me to a MAC counter in Belfast, which is the closest city to me, to try some MAC makeup. I was really into YouTube. I was really obsessed with Pixie Woo, Lisa Eldridge, and everyone was using MAC. She took me there. It was the best day of my life. They did my full makeup. The makeup artist was called DJ, I still remember. It was in Castle Court, which is like a shopping centre in Belfast. I think it's inside a House of Fraser or a Debenhams. Might not even still be there. But yeah, I did my full makeup, and then they matched me to a MAC Studio Sculpt foundation, and I got that for Christmas that year. And I'm just going to blend that out a wee bit with a clean brush. I seriously treasured that Studio Sculpt for years and years and years. Even the smell of it now, or the smell of anything MAC, really just makes me want to burst into tears because it's just so nostalgic. Yeah, so I was about, long story short, I was about 13, 14 when I was doing it on myself. I started doing it on other people when I was about, and some family member. So my path to becoming a makeup artist was, I did a makeup course for a year in college in Dublin, and it was makeup in fashion, something like that. But I remember them saying the whole time that we were doing the course that you need to get a job on a makeup counter. That's what I did. It's a really good way to get experience and meet lots of different people with different concerns, different complexions, different preferences. You also learn to work really fast. You also learn to be super hygienic. At least in my case anyway. I've never been on a makeup counter and seen a lack of hygiene personally, because there's such a heavy footfall. Usually people are super vigilant about cleanliness, which is a really good habit to have. When I was working on the counter, I was doing shoots and stuff like that on the side, and then now I'm here. I left that job probably in 2022. I worked on a counter for 6 years, so did my time, but it's such a good rite of passage for makeup artists. I'm editing this right now, and I realised I forgot to say it is a really good idea to reach out to makeup artists that you like, or you like have a similar style to, or you look up to, and ask if you can assist them. Ideally, if they're in your area or somewhere that's accessible to you, that you could maybe do it repeatedly. You'll learn a lot on the job. That is the main takeaway from my answer to this question. Lived experience and actual experience in person is the best way to learn. You should learn so quickly and be able to soak everything up if you're actually in it, as opposed to theorizing and somewhere where you think that you can pick up good habits and good practice, like a makeup counter, a makeup artist, even bridal makeup artist in your area. Ask if you can assist them, just see how they work and how their kit works and everything, because it's good to see it, it's good to experience it, and it's good to ask questions when you can. How do you budget a whole kit for when you're starting your MUA career with no money? I didn't have any money at all. Oh fuck. I was obviously making money working full-time on a makeup counter, but most importantly, working on the counter, you get a lot of free stuff. When there are testers that are written off that are no longer going to be put on display but have never been used, they're offered to you a lot of the times. These places that I worked, when they were doing like a spring clean or a stock take or whatever, and they had to get rid of X amount of testers because God knows there are hundreds in the back of everything, they would give a lot of stuff away. A lot of this, I saw a lot of waste of full testers in bins, and I was like, I just want it to be known that I'm not stealing this, I am taking it, because throwing that £6 moisturizer in the bin is clinically insane. You just get a lot of stuff, and when they would come out with limited edition collections at Christmas or whatever, the staff would usually get some. So that really helped me a lot. I also had a staff discount. I worked for an Estee Lauder company, so you get, at the time that I worked there, you get 50% off all of the Estee Lauder companies. So that's MAC, Clinique, Tom Ford, Origins, Estee Lauder. There's multiple. There's so many. I used that to buy a lot of MAC stuff that I still use in my kit today. What I would suggest is, if you're not working in makeup retail or anything at the minute, I would really recommend just working with what you have. You don't need a huge kit to be able to do like a shoot or anything. I would arrange some test shoots. If you have a friend that you really like the look of or would love to do their makeup, just ask them over, do their makeup, take pictures of it and post it. Try and build up a little bit of a portfolio or something like that. And I would reach out to brands directly and ask them, hey, I've got a shoot coming up, I would love to use some of your stuff, da 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 da. A lot of the times brands will be pretty cooperative and enthusiastic about that. And regardless of your following size, I don't think you necessarily need to have a specific amount of followers, especially if you are planning a shoot with a photographer, a model, and you have a pitch, a deck, a mood board. Compile that all together, compile a sort of a written concept of what you're going for in the shoot, send that all over and say, hey, this is what we're doing, I would love you to be a part of this in the makeup application. So that's always an idea. And where possible, for your birthday or Christmas or anything that you celebrate, and maybe ask for a palette that you would like for your kit. I don't know, if you have a group of friends and it's your birthday and they're asking you what you want, suggest that everyone chips in for like a nice palette that you can use in your kit. I don't know, not to assume that your friends will offer to do that. That would be a very nice, generous thing to do, but if they did, it's an option. If anyone ever asks you if you want a gift, ask for something for your kit. That's what I did for a long time. I'm putting a cream shadow all over because I just want it to be a bit more, I don't know, soft around the bridge of my nose, because I got carried away. Oh, that looks better. Because I got carried away with the shape and diverted a bit too much from the original sort of picture, but that looks good. This is the shade Simply Divine from the Morphe Aurascape palette. It's just softening it where I want it to be softer. Do a wee bit there as well. That's nice. Instead of doing the brown blush, I'm gonna do this plum. I just think it'll look really nice. This is the Morphe Wine and Dine Cheek Thrills Multi-Finish Face Trio. I'm gonna use the cream on like a flat foundation brush. So I think I'll start with, and then a good bit here, like that, then here. Then I'm gonna take a clean brush and just blend them all together. Someone asked for tips for filming. It definitely takes a while to figure out your go-to consistent setup. I would say set up instinctively, somewhere comfortable with the desk space, light that you can consistently go back to, so that most of your stuff is consistent if you just want to make makeup content. I would definitely invest in a good light. I'll show you what I use. I use this light. I'll put the information here. I got it secondhand on eBay for like £90 or something. And then I just use this as like a tripod. And then this is my setup. Makeup. And then there's more makeup like behind me. This is also just a backdrop that I take out and put away as and when I need it. Also, I'm very aware that my setup is very ad hoc, but it's just like I have a backdrop, I have lights and stuff, but everything is just very whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about anything in terms of light and setup, but you don't need to just record on your phone and just post it, and all of the other stuff for filming, whatever, to polish it and refine it and make it nicer will come in time and practice. But don't let that stop you from doing what you want to do if you want to post or whatever. So I'm just blending this like that, and then I think I'm gonna go to the baby pink in this Aurascape palette and use it in between like that. The most important thing for this part is the blend for sure. So I'm gonna spend a bit of time with it and spend a bit of time on it to make sure that it's nice and smooth and blurry. Okay, I absolutely hate something about this. I think it might be the cheek, but I'm actually really struggling with it. I think I have too many ideas going on in my head, and so I'm gonna simplify it a bit and just chill the fuck out. It's so hard not to get carried away or in your head when you're doing something creative, but honestly, that is seriously what will hold you back the most. I'm gonna keep blending this and see where we end up. I think I like where I'm at more now. I'm gonna take some of this shade Visionary, which is a burgundy plum maroon, and add some definition here. I'm gonna use the powder actually as well from the blush palette. I just washed my hair yesterday. What a nightmare. I think I tried to overcomplicate a really simple editorial look in the spirit of recreating it, and I think I just got overexcited and took it too far. But I watched Kiki's Delivery Service the other day. I'm trying to watch more anime before I go to Japan, and it really reminded me that failure is inevitable, but it's not permanent. I thought it was a really beautiful message. I thought it was a really beautiful story, and it made me cry a little bit because I'm super hard on myself, and if one little thing goes wrong, I'm like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. I catastrophize everything, and I'm just not chill. I'm very sensitive and I'm very dramatic. I'm actively choosing not to let this ruin my day. As much as I want to just take it off, never post this, I'm going to go against that, and I'm going to keep it on, maybe finish it in some way. But it's not the end of the world. It's going to take me a couple of minutes to wash it off. While I continue to mess about with makeup, I will answer a few more questions. So a good light is really important, and then I put everything on my laptop and edit it, airdrop to my phone, and then post it. I just use CapCut on my laptop, but you can use it on your phone. There's CapCut on TikTok, and it's pretty easy once you edit a couple of videos. It does kind of become like muscle memory. Also, for my pictures, I capture everything on my very old Nikon Coolpix, and it just takes really gorgeous photos, literally. Where do you get your color palette inspiration from? To be honest, let's just go rogue. I get my color inspiration from nowhere in particular consistently. I'm always really drawn to blues and pinks because blue and pink are my favorite colors. For makeup, I love blacks and greys as well. I especially love black and pink and black and blue. You'll see me do that a lot. And the simple answer is because they're my favorite colors. one colour you don't see me do a lot is like mustard or teal. I hate those colours so much, but I always try and branch out and not do the same thing that I always do. So use colours I don't like, do shapes I don't like, just to see what happens and keep my mind sort of fresh. How do you stay authentically expressive and confident? Honestly, trying to spend less time on social media. I always feel more creative when I'm not doom scrolling. I'm really working on getting my screen time down and reading more, not taking my phone to bed, all that stuff. Not checking my phone first thing in the morning and just starting my day. I know that sounds so ridiculously brain dead, like it is like it's pure brain rot. Because most of my work is on my phone, and like anyone, I want to scroll as well. It naturally just ends up like I'm spending so much time on my phone, and I always feel horrific at the end of the day when I do that a lot. So I'm really working on not doing that. If I'm keeping busy, going out, doing things, seeing stuff, immersing myself in the world and having lived experience really helps to motivate me, and really helps me to stay in tune with my creativity and my expressiveness, which I thought was a really organic way to think of inspiration, instead of being like, oh, let me look at my analytics, this did well, so I'm gonna do that again. I literally never do that. I never look at analytics, I never whatever. I don't care if that's a good or a bad thing. I don't think it's natural. I don't think that is how humans should think about their art, about their creative output. And I'm sorry if that sounds pretentious, but that is not a human experience, and those numbers are none of my business, literally none of my business. And I will create what I want and put out what I want. If people aren't receptive to it, that's fine. I'm not creating for approval. I'm creating to express myself, playing around, and I think staying in touch with that mentality is important for me. And I notice that when I become bogged down with the capitalist hellscape of it all, it discourages me and it uninspires me. So I try to stay in tune with myself and nobody else. Let's see where I can take this makeup, because it'll be interesting if I can save it. If I can't, it's completely fine. But I think what I am going to do is sharpen this again. Because why am I liking it now? I'm going to do some of these brow stickers from the brand Victoria Massetia, I think. So first I'm going to take some lash glue on a skinny liner brush, roughly. Then with a tweezer, I'm going to... Cute. Now I'm going to do a lip. This is the Charlotte Tilbury liner. I don't know the shade because it's rubbed off. Then I have this House Labs Glossy Highlight Balm, which I've never used before, but I thought it'd be nice on the lips, which it is. That's gorgeous. That is such a nice lip product. Let's go in my handbag. Here we have the finished look. It is not my best work. It's not my favorite thing I've ever done ever. But it's important to post your feels, I think. And this is proof that overthinking and overcomplicating something can just not really work for you sometimes. I do love the colours and I love the lip, but that's about it. That's really and truly about it. The blend is not good because I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kept adding more and more stuff, so I added more product than I would have typically, so it started to bulk up and not blend. That is the reality of a creative process occasionally. So what are you gonna do? Obviously now that it's finished, there are a million things I would have done differently. There's a million things I would have changed, but it's too late now, it's too far gone, and I can't. So any suggestion of a change or an addition or removal is arbitrary because it is finished and it's done. I can just put it to bed, it's fine. I don't need to, there's no point in thinking about that. And it's gonna take me 5 minutes to take it off. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. I did it. It's gone.